So, Lee, hi.
Hello.
Good to be with you today.
Thank you.
The website's called stopgrinding.com, but this whole thing seems to be about getting out of pain. Will you tell me more about that?
Well, there's a number of different kinds of pain that people may experience in the morning from clenching their teeth at night. The obvious ones are you might experience pain in your teeth or in the roots of your teeth. You might experience pain in the temporomandibular joint or other symptoms associated with TMJ syndrome like clicking or popping of your jaw. But you might also experience migraines, you might get regular headaches, you might experience pain in your inner ear or ringing in the ear. Also, pain in the back of the neck is a common symptom of clenching your teeth in your sleep.
So how could clenching my teeth cause all that?
Well, there's a few different things that happen when you clench your teeth. So your teeth and your jaw joint are made to take brief pulses of force when you chew. And there may be hundreds of pounds of force on your teeth for a couple of tenths of a second at a time when you chew. But did you ever play with silly putty when you were a kid?
Yeah.
So you can take a ball of silly putty and you can bounce it on the floor. You can hit it really hard very briefly and it'll bounce back. And the protective tissue in your jaw joint and around your teeth is like that. But if you squeeze it continuously for any length of time, it mashes and it gets damaged. So if you even clench your teeth for a second, which is way longer than how long one chew is, you start to build up damage to the tissue that surrounds your teeth and to the tissue in your temporomandibular joint, your jaw joint. Now that damage will heal. It'll heal within a couple of days. But if you're building that damage up many times per night, every night, it never gets a chance to heal. And a bunch of different things can go wrong from that damage. Your teeth can loosen a little bit. The seal between your teeth and your gums can become less perfect. Bacteria can get in down to the roots of your teeth. You may wind up getting an infection. You may need a root canal. You could just feel the pain of the teeth being loose. You could feel the pain of the damage in the jaw joint. Another thing that can happen is you start putting pressure on the trigeminal nerve, which runs through this joint. And that can start to make the nerve put out little signals into your brain that aren't coming from anything real. They're just coming from the nerve being mushed. So you could start to feel pain in places on your face where there isn't really pain. Or, I mean, it'll feel like there's real pain, so there's real pain in that sense, but there's nothing wrong on your face. Or you could feel pain deep inside your ear. And the signals coming into your brain can cause migraines. They can cause changes in the neuronal patterns in your brain that give you migraines in the morning. So there's a lot of different kinds of ways that the pain comes about, either from the physical damage directly or from the damage to the nerves or from the things that the nerve damage causes.
What causes the clenching?
Well, it can start for a number of different reasons, and it's probably different for different people. So you might be under a tense situation at work that gives you some bad dreams at night, and you start clenching then. You might be in a tense situation in a relationship, or you might have had a traumatic situation like an auto accident. Clenching generally takes place in shallow dream states in sleep. It does not take place in REM sleep. So you're dreaming about something and the clenching starts. Now the thing is, once you've been clenching for even a few days, this can start to build its way into being a habit. Your brain gets used to that feeling that it gets from the roots of your teeth and other things while you clench, and it becomes a sort of a little addiction that the brain looks for that feeling, and it does the clenching and it gets the feeling, and it does the clenching and it gets the feeling. And once the habit builds up, you can take away the original problem and the habit does not go away. So that's part of what makes it really challenging, because you're asleep. You don't even know you're doing it.
So how does the Sleep Guard headband help with this?
Well, when you clench your teeth, and you could try this right now, there are muscle fibers underneath your temples that you can feel when you clench. So you put your fingers there, and you bite, you'll feel those muscle fibers bulging. Well, the Sleep Guard headband, when you're wearing it on your head, it has these sensor pads inside it that are able to electronically sense the signals that your brain is sending to these muscles that's having them tense. So it can actually measure how hard you're clenching your teeth while you're wearing it on your head. And you set how hard is too hard, and once you clench your teeth too hard, then it gives you a little audio tone that reminds you to relax.
But isn't that going to wake me up?
Well, it would if you didn't know what the sound was, and it would if you hadn't done your daytime training first. So there's 2 steps to the process. During the first few days, you purposefully set the thing off a few times while you're awake, and it's set up that you can purposely set it off by raising your eyebrows. And you raise your eyebrows, you set it off, you start to hear the tone, and you train yourself that as soon as you hear the tone, you totally relax your face, you open your jaw a little, and you hold that relaxed posture for about 5 seconds. And what you're doing is you're doing a Pavlovian training. Like Pavlov's dogs, they salivated when they heard a sound of a bell. Well, what you're training yourself to do is relax when you hear a little tone. And the headband is designed so that the tone comes on very quietly at first and then gets louder. So you'll hear it quite quiet in the beginning. It won't startle you in your sleep, and it'll start to get louder. At some point, your mind will recognize, oh, that's the tone. That's the reminder to relax. That's my friend that's helping me learn my way out of this habit. And as soon as you relax, the tone goes away. You go back into whatever dream you were going into. And one thing that I should mention is that, as I said before, clenching takes place in shallow dream states. If you're someone who clenches a lot, your clenching will actually keep you from getting into REM sleep. And we all need REM sleep to have really restful sleep. So oftentimes people who clench a lot have less REM sleep and they wake up less rested. Well, if you interrupt the clenching, it gives you more of a chance to get down into REM sleep. And one really nice thing that nature provides is that once you're in REM, you can't clench. So if you manage to get into REM, you have some very peaceful span of REM sleep, and then the next time you come back up out of REM and you're in shallow dream state again, maybe you have a dream and you clench a little and the thing reminds you to relax and it all goes over again.
My dentist told me to just get a mouth guard. Wouldn't a mouth guard solve this?
Well, that's an interesting question, and of course dentists prescribe mouth guards, and one thing that is good about a mouth guard is it prevents you from wearing away your teeth. If you're moving your jaw around while you're clenching, that's called grinding, and of course one of the problems of that is that you wear away your teeth, besides all the pain that we were talking about. We're more concerned with the pain, but of course dentists are concerned with you wearing away your teeth. So a mouth guard will certainly prevent you from wearing away your teeth. It often won't prevent you from clenching. So there's a kind of an interesting thing that some people, you put a mouth guard in their mouth and it changes the feeling of clenching. For some people, it changes it in a direction that they clench less. And that's great. If you happen to be one of those people, that's a very inexpensive way to solve the problem if it happens to work for you. For a lot of people, that doesn't work. In fact, for a lot of people, you put a mouth guard in their mouth and they clench more. They don't damage their teeth, but they get more pain in the roots of their teeth. Maybe they get more migraines, more ringing in the ear, more pain in the back of the neck, more TMJ problems. So the mouth guard may protect your teeth, but it won't often get you out of pain. And this is a product that's designed to actually go to the root of the problem and get you out of pain.
So how would I know if the sleep guard might work for me?
Well, I don't know of a way of knowing ahead of time who it's going to work for. It works for about 85 to 90% of the people who try it. When you first receive it, the first few nights that you wear it, in the morning you read out of the unit how many times you clenched each night and the total number of seconds that you clenched, and that will show you how bad of a clencher you are. And then after the first 3 nights, when you start using the biofeedback, if it's working well for you, you'll see a dramatic drop in those numbers, in how much you're clenching each night, in both the number of times you clench and the total number of seconds. And after that drop has been there for a few days, you'll start most likely waking up without pain. So most people within using it for 1 week, even if you've been in pain every day for years, will start to experience pain-free days. So you'll see the results 2 ways to know if it works for you. One is you'll see the reduction in the numbers, and the other is that you'll feel better. And that'll usually happen within a week, and you have 3 weeks of free trial. So if you're somebody who finds that it doesn't work great for you, then you just send it back.
And then do I have to keep using it, or will it eventually train me out of the habit?
If you haven't been in the habit for very long, you can train yourself completely out of the habit, no question, and probably only in a few weeks. But if you've had the habit for years, you have so many neuronal pathways in your brain that are developed that are part of this habit that it takes time to train yourself out of it, and it's probably never completely gone. So typically for people who have had the clenching habit for years, if you use the biofeedback headband for on the order of 4 months, you can probably go for months without needing it at that point, if you've really been training yourself well. Most people find that that's true. And I won't claim that the habit's ever completely gone. It may come back after a few months, and then you use it for a little while and you make it be gone again, but you definitely can modify the habit a lot.
What originally got you interested in this subject?
Well, I'm an inventor. I've done a lot of different things. I invented the game laser tag, which was a lot of fun. I invented radio fence dog collars. I've invented a lot of different medical gadgets. Some of them are used inside Hewlett-Packard medical devices. I heard years ago, when I started this project, from a dentist that I knew, that there were about 3 million people in the United States alone who were in pain every day, most of the day, or all day, because of clenching their teeth in their sleep. And that mouth guards for these people, by and large, either don't stop this problem or make it worse. And the only alternatives out there are drugs that just drug people up, but it still doesn't make the problem go away. And I thought, wow, there's a real need here. I mean, people are in pain. Everybody deserves to be able to be out of pain. And this gives people who are stuck in the nighttime clenching habit a way to find their way out of pain.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you for your work, and thank you for sharing it with us today.